Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So we got back today about 10:30, 11. I literally unloaded the car, didn't even put anything away, and came right out to the craft room. I did have to clean my table before I could start working on anything because I didn't have any clean spots, but that's nothing unusual for me, right? Hopefully, it's not unusual for you too to have a messy crafting station. But Bo and I took Lucas up to the North Pole excursion. We left Monday around noon, stopped at In and Out, and had the best cheeseburger and milkshake I think I've ever had in my entire life. So amazing. And then we headed up north. We did the North Pole excursion, and I think it just gets funner and funner the older they get to do stuff like that with them. And then we got back today. So we had a very busy couple days. I am exhausted. As soon as the live is over, I'm going to go in, take a shower, and head to bed because I do have to work in the morning. But anyway, hopefully you guys had a good weekend and got some crafting done. Let's point you over so I can show you what we are going to be playing with today. So I just want to make sure we're live on Facebook. I was actually watching a couple videos today, so hopefully I didn't forget to turn my volume down. Sorry, it wasn't even turned on. But today's project, I am bringing in, and there we are good. I'm bringing in the Happy Hibiscus stamp set and matching dies. We used this in class on Saturday or last Saturday, the Saturday before, I can't remember. They're all running together. And everybody loved it. It was so easy to do and it was so gorgeous. So I thought I would use that. The stamps or the dies that I used this one, I used the leaf, and this guy right here. And I actually already created Thursday's live using the same set, and it's absolutely gorgeous as well. But I didn't want to use any of the sentiments that are in here. So I decided to pull in Round We Go, and I pulled in this Happy Birthday. So that's the stamp set and dies we're using. And I did bring in some of the iridescent ribbon as well. So let me show you what I came up with. So this is one that I did out of Highland Heather and Fresh Freesia. And then I did the Granny Apple Green for the leaves. But if you're not a purple person, it's totally okay. I have another design for you. And then I did the same card using Petunia Pop and Pretty in Pink. So I think we're going to do the Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather for tonight's live, but you could really change these up and use any color we have. But these are the ones that I picked for tonight. So let's get started. You are going to start by needing a piece of colored cardstock. This is Highland Heather, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it right in half at 4.25. So we're just going to take this and fold it in half, give it a good crease. I have two pieces of our basic white, and both of these measure 4 by 5.25. One is going to go on the inside, so you can write your sentiment on it. So I'll go ahead and put that on the inside now. And then your other piece, we are going to do a little bit of layering. So we're going to set this aside, and I'll go ahead and set this other piece of basic white aside as well. And then I have a piece of, this is Fresh Freesia, and this measures 3 3/4 by 5. So these two pieces are going to layer together once we get it embossed. So the one amazing thing about this set is it's a hybrid set. So it comes with a matching embossing folder as well as the dies. So here I'm just going to slide my cardstock and I'm going to line it up right on that line. Close this. I'm going to bring in my embossing machine. grab my thick plate and my 3D mat. So I'm going to run this through. And out pops a beautifully embossed piece of fresh freesia. So it looks absolutely stunning just like this, but I wanted to kind of spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to bring in just a piece of our scratch paper. I just want to take some Highland Heather. Actually, that's not Highland Heather. This one's Highland Heather. I'm going to take a little bit of Highland Heather and I'm going to gently rub. And I just want to come over here and just highlight the hibiscus. So I'm gently just rubbing this on the top of what I embossed. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of texture. Now you can stamp off if you want to, but I literally am barely putting any pressure on here, so I shouldn't have any globs of ink in anyone's spots. You can definitely go over it as many times as you want, but just remember you can't take ink off once it's on. So definitely go light. And then if you want to add more, you can. And I think I do want to add a little bit more. So that is how I got the extra color on my cardstock. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me bring it up so I can show you. So hopefully you guys can see that it added some extra color and depth to our piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ribbon, my mini glue dots that should be, oh, there they are. They were underneath something. Hello, Linda. Hello, Heather. Welcome. So I'm just going to take my mini glue dots and I want to wrap a piece of our ribbon around. There we go. Grab your scissors. Trim this off. There we go. And now we can glue these two pieces together and then we can start working on the other pieces. So since I did this in class a couple weeks ago, I still had my stamp sets on my Stamparatus. I know we can't get the Stamparatus anymore, and I am so sad about that, but I use it in classes all the time. And I honestly don't think I will not ever use it until they come out with something else. So I've already die cut all three of my pieces. So the die cut is one image, so you only have to die cut it once, but the flowers do come out individually. So now you just have to kind of line it up. It's a little puzzle. Oh, you know what? I grabbed the wrong one. Here we go. So this is a two-step stamping. So we're going to stamp the outside in Highland Heather. And I already have the outside image on. So I'm going to ink up Highland Heather. Give it a nice good press. And you want to just make sure it stays back in the little mask. And I'm going to swap this out and use the fresh freesia for the inside. So any of our colors would work for this card. You could do our pink tones, you can do our yellow tones, you could do the red cherry cobbler. Literally, this is such a fun set that you can really use any color we have with it. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And now I want to show you a little trick that I did when I was creating this card. So I'm going to just line up where I want the pieces, even though our sentiment's not stamped yet. I'm just going to set that there just as a little guide. And I want to tuck this one up underneath. This one I'm going to put right here. This little guy is so tiny. That or my hands are big, one of the two. And then I went ahead and die cut 3 of the leaves. So I'll tuck that one right there. This one can go underneath. And this one I'm going to put right up at the bottom. So now that you have it exactly where you want it, usually you're going to take the whole thing apart and put dimensionals behind it. But I want to show you what I did, and it worked really well. So I'm going to take a couple mini glue dots, and I'm just going to come up under here and kind of just tack these pieces together. And then when I go to pull it up, I know exactly where my dimensionals need to go. Now I do have to be careful because of this piece I put underneath the ribbon. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm just going to come over here and use that side. And one more for this one. Now all but this one I did not glue down, and I'll show you why in a second. So this one was really a little too hard to get it up underneath. So I just flipped it over, put a dimensional on half of it. I just didn't want the dimensional showing. And now it is all together. So now we can flip it over, add your dimensionals, and your card is not going anywhere. And this one is pretty big, so I did use quite a few. And I'm using the edges. It's all empty. Now I can throw it away. I am using the edges, so I probably did use a little too much, but you know what? It's okay. You can put as many on your card as you want. Perfect. Let's bring our card back in. And now I know that this piece is going to be right in that corner. There we go. Let's glue this to our card base. And then we'll do some stamping and add some gems. And this gorgeous card is going to be done. Okay, scoot that over. I am going to stamp Happy Birthday in. This one is Highland Heather. Perfect. Close up the ink because we don't need these anymore. Bring out a brand new sheet of dimensionals because I used the other ones. I'm going to do one on each side and one in the center, just in case. That's going to go right there. And then I have some gems that I want to sprinkle on. And then last but not least, grab your ribbon and we're going to tie a knot right at this side. I've actually tied quite a few bows with this ribbon. It's not hard, but it's not super easy either. So sometimes when I use this, I'd rather just tie a little knot than try to tie a bow. There we go. And one last thing I like to do is take your pick tool, and I just want to come up here and put a mini glue dot under that knot. It's not going anywhere, but just for giggles. So there you go. That is how quick and easy this card is to put together. And I really think using the ink on the embossed portion of it really gives it that extra little pizzazz that I think it needs. So you can pick whatever color you like best. I am definitely a pink and petunia pop kind of girl, but if you're more in the purples, it is just as gorgeous as well. So there you go. This was definitely a quick and easy card to put together. So hopefully you guys can get into your craft room and put one of these together. They are absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I will be back on Thursday to show you another fun card using the same set. So definitely stay tuned. If you need any help ordering anything, please feel free to reach out. If not, I will see everybody on Thursday for another live. We'll chat with you soon. Bye-bye.